Hello, it was back in March, wasn't it? Back in March that we last spoke to each other. I told you I was going to have a little bit of a break. I might continue having the break. I don't know yet. But there we are. We're here. September already. The last time we spoke is March. I can't believe that. Hello and welcome to United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon. And can I just say a special thank you to certain people who kept messaging, saying nice little things, bits and pieces. Namely, Gene Evans, especially Gene Evans, who pokes me constantly on Facebook, don't you, Gene? Constantly poking away on the Facebook. Millie in Minnesota, who sent me a couple of nice little messages. Hello, Millie. I think you're over at the cottage at the moment, aren't you, if I remember rightly. Tom Harris, who sends the occasional poke as well. And indeed, Kath, who's in Wales, the lovely Kath, Miss Kath C. And I've got a couple of emails that I've been just kind of holding back here while I've been having my extended break. So much has happened. I mean, I've done so much. So many things have happened since I've been away. Kath wrote way back in July. Well, I say way back in July. She says, "Hello, Chris. Just a quick line to see how you are. I'm doing very well, thank you, Kath. Very well." She says, "You've been very silent. There's not a peep out of you." Well, actually, Kath, there is. I go on Facebook quite a lot. I know you're not a member of the Facebook thing. It is a way of sort of keeping in touch. And if you are, for example, a friend of mine on Facebook and you subscribe to the updates, you will be able to see everything that I put on there. And I'm on there 4 or 5 times a day with little notes, usually something to do with my work. For example, I might put on there, join us tonight for karaoke at... on this Sunday at 286 Bar in Lewisham, something like that. And you would see that all happening. So I haven't been completely silent. But yes, show-wise, chat show-wise, I have been completely silent. I was trying for a period of time, for a couple of months actually, I was doing a music and chat show on an online radio station called Reach on Air, which is a fantastic little station. There are an awful lot now of internet radio stations. Some of them work better than others. Some of them are just diabolical. Some of them work very well. Reach works very well. The software they use works almost perfectly. You know, I don't think I've ever come across a radio station where everything works absolutely perfectly, but they're as close to it as you can find, I think. And I was doing a morning music and chat show there between 10 and 11, and I hope to keep that going. I was doing that Monday to Friday. But I found that I started getting migraines at work. Now, there's many different types of migraine headache. Okay? My type were related to tiredness. I recognise this because a few years ago, I don't remember if you remember, that a few years ago, I was working in Brighton on Friday nights. And what was happening is, first of all, I was working in Hemel Hempstead between 8 p.m. and 12 midnight, okay? Then from Hemel Hempstead, I would drive down at a fairly slow speed, actually, about 60 mile an hour, because I didn't need to get there any earlier. And I would drive down to Brighton to do another little stint there between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. So I was doing that. But about a year into doing that, I started getting migraine headaches round about 3 o'clock in the morning. It would happen between sort of 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't work out why it was, and I never went to the doctors or anything. And the type of migraine headache I got was not a pain, but it was like if I'm looking at you, okay, the middle part of my vision would start going all wavy. I can only describe it as a little river or stream that had appeared in your eye and was waving around like that. And it became very difficult to see directly what was in front of me. So, as I DJ from a laptop, and all the records or songs are in front of me, I was literally right up to the laptop with my eyeball trying to see what was on the blooming screen. And it was a bit of a nightmare, really. Anyway, eventually I left that job and the migraine stopped completely. But I didn't put two and two together until it happened again. And then there's a gap. No migraines at all for, I think it was about 3 years ago that I left that job. Simply because I was just so tired doing it. It was, it's got to be about 3 years ago. And it didn't happen again until about 3 weeks ago. Again, it was happening at night time. Happened on 2 consecutive nights. I think a Thursday. Yes, it was definitely a Thursday and a Friday. And I'd been doing this music and chat show for about 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that, which I really enjoyed doing, actually. But I had noticed that I was getting very, very tired during the daytime, and again at work at night. And then suddenly, you get no warning. Suddenly your vision starts going a little bit funny. I thought, oh, here we go. And you know it's coming. You know it's coming. And it's not... there's no headache or anything like that, not at the time anyway. So then your vision goes, and there's nothing really that seems to how can I explain this? The vision part of it, that carries on anything between sort of 10 minutes and an hour. Okay? After that it dies down, but after that you don't feel right in the head. You feel a bit strange, and you go home and you don't feel right again until the next morning. So it's all a bit odd, really. Anyway, so I had to knock that show on the head, and once again, no more migraines. So it's obviously my migraines are related to tiredness. I haven't actually looked. I should have looked it up on the internet, really, to see if there's anything relating to that. I wonder if, boys and girls, you suffer from migraines. Perhaps you'd like to tell me about them. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Kath goes on to say, how's Katie? She's doing very well. She's doing very well. She has to have pills now, Kath. She had an overactive thyroid, and I'd noticed, I can't remember how far we got with this when I stopped doing the shows back in March. But basically, she was getting thinner and thinner, and I thought, perhaps she's just not eating as much. But then I noticed I could feel her bones, and I thought, this isn't right. She was, her character changed slightly. She was running all over the place like something possessed. A little bit like me, really. I'm a bit possessed, as you know, from my eyes, don't you? So eventually I took her to the vet and spent a small fortune. Every time they do a blooming blood test, it costs you 120 quid. Why is that? Why does that cost you 120 quid to do a blood test? Anyway, so they've done a blood test, and they said, yeah, we think it's the thyroid. You're going to have to start giving her pills. I said, well, how long for? This will be for life. So she always has to have these pills. And they started off with, I think, 1 pill, and I gave her that or something. I went for a blood test. That wasn't enough. So they upped the level, went another blood test, upped the level again. So it's about 500 quid altogether I spent in blooming vet fees and bits and pieces. But she's now on these pills, and she has 1.5 milligram, or whatever that mg thing is. Is it a milligram? 1.5 milligram pill twice a day. So what I do, I mean, it's actually quite difficult to give a cat a tablet. Anyone who's got cats and had to give them drugs before, I know you should, but you basically, you have to get behind her, and then the way I do it, I put 2 things like that, I'll push her like that, and I knock it in her mouth, and she go, and sometimes she spits it out again. Now, she's not too bad the first try. If you get it in the first try, all well and good. Right? If you have to have a second try, the paw comes out, only like the kind of the thumb of the paw, if you see what I mean, and it tries to push you back, and I can feel the claw in my skin. But you can feel the track like the heart, and try going, and drop it in her mouth, and then hopefully, and then I'd close her mouth like that and hold her head up, and if I see her swallow like that, then I know the pill's gone down. But again, sometimes she might, and I hear it drop out onto the floor. If you have to try a third time, by now, she's a bit pissed off. Let's be honest, the cat is a bit pissed off by now. And you literally have to get her up. I pick her up and I have to put her on the worktop and she's moaning now, like that. And I put my arm around her poor little paws and then I push the mouth open and drop it again and that's what you have to do. That's what I was doing at first. However, I have found an easier way. And why on earth I didn't try it like this the first time, I don't know. What I do now is I put it in her food. How easy is that? The only thing is, you know what cats are like? Sometimes they go meow, they're round your legs all the time. Meow, meow, meow. Wanting their foot. Meow, 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 meow. And the meow gets louder. Meow, 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 meow. And then it starts changing pitch. Meow, meow. Like that she goes. And then you put the foot down and she walks off. Why do they do that? Please tell me why cats do that. Why do they walk off when you've done all that lovely food for them? Anyway. So she seems to want to eat at the same time as me. So I do her food and just meow, meow, meow while I'm doing the food, round my legs and everything. And then I put the pill on top and I put one piece of meat on top of the pill so she can't see it. And then I put it down and usually she has it like that now. So she has that, not exactly at 12-hour interviews. Usually when I get up about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30 in the morning, and when I leave for work, which can be anything between sort of 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. So she does have her 2 pills a day, and that seems to be going all right. And she's fine now, actually. She comes in the living room. She slept on the bed with me last night, actually. Oh, I love it when cats sleep on the bed. The asthma I have with her doesn't seem to be too bad at the moment. So now and again I let her sleep on the bed with me, and the purring next to you, it's lovely. She's downstairs at the moment. She's not up in the studio today. So that's how Katie is. And Kath also wants to know, how is your great niece doing? Evie, the baby, is doing wonderfully. Thank you very much. Hopefully I've got a little picture to show you here. Okay. You should have seen a little picture of Evie there. I'm not sure. I can't remember how to work all this software. 6 months since I did one of these shows, isn't it? Can you believe it? 6 months. Back then. 6 months. 6 months. I can't believe I haven't done these shows for 6 months. Unbelievable. So, yes, the baby's doing very well. Don't they grow quickly? And she's smiling now. And she can hold her head up. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful to have a new great niece. I say new, 3 months now. And my nephew, Gary, and his wife, Stacey, they're just different people. They are just... And Gary, my nephew, I mean, he was always happy. There was just a difference in him. And he's just happy all the time. And he's absolutely doting over that child. I've seen some beautiful pictures of dad and daughter, and I think there's a very special bond there, isn't there, between fathers and daughters, a little bit like mothers and sons, you know? I know, ladies, you're not supposed to have favourites, but I do think sometimes the son, for whatever reason, sons bonds better with mothers and daughters bonds better with fathers for some reason. I'm not quite sure why that is. Perhaps that's why Katie is a girl cat, and she bonds well with me. You reckon? I think that's a definite possibility, Kath. So there we are. And more excitement on the way in just about 2 or 3 weeks now, I think. I'm going to become a great uncle all over again. My niece, Tracy, and her husband, Ben, are having a baby soon. Now, they've chosen a slightly different route, if you see what I mean. Gary and Stacey, they had all the scans and they found out the sex of the child and they went out and bought everything, this, that and the other. Tracy and Ben have had scans. They know the baby is okay, but they don't want to know if it's a boy or a girl. They want that as a surprise. And I think they haven't arranged things like baptisms and christenings and that sort of. They haven't done that. They're going to wait for the child to come. So different ways of doing things. You know, each up to their own individual. So we don't know if it's going to be a little boy or a girl. But once again, I'm going to be a great uncle again. And I'm so excited. So excited. The only thing is, with the work I do down here, and they are up there, they are a 3 hour, 3.5 hour drive from me there. I have only seen Evie for the couple of days that I was up there, and my best friend Ron came up there as well with me, and we became. They let us be godparents, which is quite nice. You know, so I'm a godparent to Evie. The only thing is, I don't see her, only in photographs. I only hear her little gaggle, gaggle, gaggle on the phone and all that. Actually, I think I've got a little bit of her talking here on the phone. Let me see if I can find this. Because Gary and Stacey often send me little pictures and noises that Evie has been making. Let me see if I can find it here for you. I'm sure it's here. There it is. 1 minute. Is it? I think, yes, here it is. There's a video here. I'm going to play this to you on my iPhone. Here you go. Look, can you see that?
What, Evie? What are you saying? Yeah? What? What's that mean? Yeah? Tell me then. Come on. Tell me. What?
Can you hear that all right?
Yeah? What's the matter then?
Isn't that fantastic? That's literally, or is a tear in my eye now? It's just beautiful, and that's the sound of Evie, my godchild. Dad is Gary, and mother is Stacey. They're both very, very proud parents. Nothing wrong with the child at all. You know, I think it had a cold a couple of weeks ago, which Gary caught as well. Because children, of course, babies and children are just walking bags of bacteria, aren't they? They really are. If that child gets something, you know damn well you're coming down with it as well. Doesn't matter too much though, does it? I don't think so. So there we are. And as I say, looking forward to another one. So I shall be going up there in September. But you know, I wish they were closer. I do wish they were closer, especially now. I mean, it's, you know, it's bad enough having your sister up north and your nephews and nieces, and now the great niece as well is way up there, 3 hours away from here in drive. You say, oh, it's not far. It is far. It is far. I would like to be able to pop round now and again, you know, and perhaps do some way of assisting. Maybe, you know, maybe if I was to go in there and Stacey was baby's on the lap and the house is looking like it needs a hoover, I wouldn't mind going around and do a bit of hoover. Like, you know, like helping out, that sort of thing. But of course, all my work is down in London. I mean, all my work is down in London. So it's pretty impossible. The only thing to do is, you know, would be to sell up, move up, and then that would be it. And people say, you know, oh, you'd be bored going up there. I don't think I would. I don't think I would really, with my nieces, my great niece and the next great niece or nephew, whatever it's going to be. I think there would be plenty to do. I really do, but I can't see that happening, so just have to make the best of it, won't we? Kath also goes on to say, is the new car running well? Yes, it is, Kath. The new Toyota Yaris is running very well. It's a white car, which I bought a couple of months ago now. Already done 10,000 miles in it. I have no complaints at all, except there is one thing I'm going to complain about. But it runs very well. It's very economical. I've got 72 miles to the gallon out of that, which is comparable to the last car I had, the Igo. I mean, it's not far off that, to be honest. So very, very happy with the car, the way it feels, the way it drives, everything except one thing: the sat nav on there. The sat nav, when I first use it to go up to my sister's, because I can't find my way from A to B. You know that I'm completely useless at finding my way from A to B. The sat nav is on my way up to my sister's. It already appeared to be out of date, the maps. Okay, and I thought, okay, well, fair enough, I'll wait for an update to come out. And an update came out a couple of weeks ago. And the update, and it's not easy to update it. I didn't find it easy at all. you've got to muck about with a dongle, plug that in there, and not a dongle, what do you call them? A memory stick. You have to plug that into your computer, log on to this, do that. Oh, what a lot of muck arsing about. And then you take that and plug it into the USB socket in the car. Now, the USB socket in the car, for some reason, they've decided to put it in the glove box, right in the corner at the top. And it's bloody difficult to get to. You know, you've got to use your torch on your iPhone or something and shine it up there, try and find the hole to get this thing in. And then update it like that. That's for all the updates and maps and things like that. I don't find it particularly easy to do. Also, right, the new map updates have come out. So I'm looking for the UK one, and there isn't one. There is only map updates for the whole of Europe. And that costs £119. Now, Toyota, my dears, you've got wonderful cars, but if you think I'm paying £119 for maps of Europe that I don't even need, I mean, come on, how many people in the UK who own a Toyota with a sat-nav take their car and go and drive in Europe? We don't do it. We want maps for the UK only, please, and at a reasonable price. What's a reasonable price? 20 quid? 20 quid sound all right to you? So everyone in the UK, you know, 20 quid for the UK maps only. That's all we need. We don't need to know the roads in France, Italy, Germany and Greece. We don't need to know that. We ain't going there. There might be a very, 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 very small percentage of people who want to go to Europe and take their lovely Toyota cars, faultless car with them. But we don't want maps of Europe. You know, we need a map of the UK. So that, to be honest, at this moment in time, if someone said to me, oh, I'm buying a Toyota, do you think I should say, get the integral sat-nav? I would say no, buy a TomTom. I would say that. Don't buy the sat-nav on the Toyota car because it will be out of date very quickly. And the map updates are astronomically expensive. They're probably not expensive, actually. All those maps of Europe for 120 quid probably isn't that expensive when you imagine the work that has to be done to, you know, map everything and put it on the computer and all that business. The point is, we don't need it. Why am I buying something that I don't need? So that's the answer there, I think. We don't need the maps of Europe. Apart from that, I love the car. Absolutely love it. So thanks for asking about that. All right. Now, I've just lost your... Oh, gosh. Where's that gone now? There it is. There. Oh. What did I do? I've lost the position of the emails now. Oh, dear. No, I can't find those. They've disappeared forever. That can't be that. What did I say it was? Something... What date did I say that was? Was it July she sent that? Must be there. Kath, where have you gone, darling? There it is. There it is. Found it. No, it isn't. That's another one. That's another one. 6. Kath. Oh, isn't that odd? I can't find that now. I said July, didn't I? Right, let's go down to July then. I'm very good at losing things from the... Oh, it's there somewhere. No, it's disappeared now. Never mind, I think that was the end of your email anyway. Kath has since sent other emails in, so thanks very much for those, Kath, and I do appreciate them, my darling, all right? Yurik in Poland. Hello, Yurik, who says, hi, Chris. How are you? Last time, when trying to download your podcast, I found that United Kingdom Talk was no longer being published. What's happened? Maybe you changed convention and you are giving your show under a different name. If so, please give me any details. I can't believe that after so many years of talking, you go silent. Impossible. I thought you were as solid as the BBC. I hope you're okay and in good condition. That's from Yurik. Yes, well, if you watched the last show or listened to the last show, you will know that I decided to take a break, which was actually longer than I thought it would be. But moving forward, so here I am, moving forward, at the moment, I can't tell you when the next one's going to be. Might be a little bit erratic. Okay, so there might be one here, there might be a gap, and there might be one. But the best way to do it is to subscribe. Okay, either subscribe to my YouTube channel, with my YouTube being Chris Reardon UK. That's my YouTube channel, Chris Reardon UK. All right, hit the little subscribe, tick the little subscribe thing there, and you want email updates. So every time a new show comes on, you'll get an email, then you won't miss it. Or, of course, subscribe to the main site, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. It's on iTunes, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And also, I didn't realise it, we're on Apple TV as well. If you go onto Apple TV and do a search on the podcasts, type in United Kingdom Talk, it will come up there as well, and you can watch it on your massive widescreen telly. How wonderful is that? You should have seen my best mate's face when I suddenly found that, and he hates it. He don't watch or listen to any of these shows, I'm afraid. So there we are. All right, Jersey, so here we are, Yurik rather. A new viewer who's joined us recently is Marge. Hello, Marge, and we've had a couple of emails going to and from. Marge writes, "Hi, Chris, this is Marge from Oklahoma. Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain." She says, "Just want to say, I am truly enjoying your marathon of watching all your videos from way back then up to now. I have a question, however. You mention a forum website on your older videos, but when I go to the link, the website no longer exists. Or am I not able to connect?" No, there's no forum anywhere. No, that forum, it stopped working. And to be honest, with technical things, I lose patience very quickly, Marjorie. I didn't have the patience to fix it. One of those internet things, they go wrong and I'm thinking, oh God, I can't be bothered with this. So I don't. And I just let it go, and that's the end of it. She says, I did not know if anyone used the forums anymore. Maybe it moved to another location. Please, can you let me know when you get back from your rest? I love the Christmas gift you got on the video I'm watching now. Oh, was it the Dalek? That's still here, look. I still have the Dalek that I got for Christmas a couple of years ago. Exterminate. I've actually got two. This is the little one, which I wonder there was something in this. Oh, hang on a minute. This takes batteries. Oh, this is an alarm. That's right. This is an alarm clock Dalek. Okay, which takes batteries. It's not doing anything at the moment, I don't think. Can I get that to do anything? Can't remember how it works. You see, it's another one of those pieces of technology that you need to get working again. And I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered with things that go wrong anymore. Anyway, that's Marjorie in Oklahoma. So lovely to hear from you, and welcome to the show, Marjorie. All right. So, as I say, any emails, do send them in, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, and I will do shows when I've got time now, okay? Good news, my best friend Ronnie, two completely separate housing issues here. You remember that house I was buying? Eventually, it is mine. At last, it's gone through. Tenants are in there and everything's hunky-dory. That took 6 months to go through that house. Can you believe that? And it was touch and go at the end. Let me tell you that, because the house prices in the area I am in have been going up. Unlike, most of the UK, we've been going up slightly here in Royal Berkshire. And, of course, when you put an offer in for a house, it's at that price there. Now, if the price is going up, but as the months go on, the price of the house is going up, but you put your offer in there. So I was concerned that at some point he was going to come back at me and say, well, hang on a minute, this is now worth this. I'd like you to pay a bit more. In which case I would have said no, because I wouldn't, that's the end of it. I just wouldn't have gone further with it. I agreed at that price. Unfortunately, the rules in England, I don't think it's the same in Scotland. Certainly the rules in England don't tie you in at that offer price. So you made an offer, they've said yes, and things start moving along. But at any time, you, as the buyer, could say, actually, I'm not going to pay you that, I'm going to pay you that. Or the seller could also say, well, hang on a minute, no, I've decided I'm not going to sell it for that, I want to sell it for another £20,000 higher. and there's nothing you can do about it. It's the most ridiculous rules here. You are not tied in until contracts are signed, and that can be months, as was the case in this, months later than what you put the offer in. So that was all a bit worrying. But it all went through, and do you know, I've got a really itchy nose suddenly. Oh, I still suffer from that, don't I? Itchy noses. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, you know, you're not tied in until that thing's signed, so it's always a bit of a worry. But it went through in the end, so that's hunky-dory, and it's been decorated, and a few little bits have got to be fixed in there. But new tenants have moved in there, so that's that. And the other piece of good news is that my best friend, Ron, has also moved into the area. I'm very pleased to say, and he lives 5 minutes about 10 minutes bicycle ride from here. 5 minutes in the car, and it's all so much more fantastic. No longer do I have to, when I want to go and see him, I no longer do I have to drive through the nightmare traffic in London. And I mean, it really is nightmare traffic in London all the time during the day. It's not so bad at night time, but I mean, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So that's good news as well. Anyway, I've got loads more to tell you about, not on this show, okay? Once again, the best way to watch the shows now is to subscribe either to iTunes, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Type in United Kingdom Talk to iTunes. You'll see in there somewhere the audio version and somewhere the video version. Or just go to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, the website, the main website for this show. All right? Pop on there now and again, and you'll see the newest one appear right at the very top there. Or the YouTube channel, Chris Reardon UK. Subscribe on there. All right, Chris Reardon UK. Subscribe there. Tick the box that says you want emails every time a new show. Or indeed on Facebook. I put all my updates on Facebook, wherever I'm doing. If you ever want to join us on there. My Facebook username is Chris Reardon UK, I think. Yeah, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. I'm sure that's my Facebook. I better check that, hadn't I suppose. One moment, please. We are checking for you now. Is that right? Have I got that right? So long since I gave all this information out. Oh, it's thinking about it. Oh, it says virginmedia.com. 1 minute. Maybe that's not right. Yes, it is. Chris Reardon UK. Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK is where you'll find all my updates and all that. I don't have Twitter. I closed my Twitter down a few months ago. I've never really understood what it's all about. Can't really understand it, work it. And I said to you at the beginning of the show, technological things, if they go wrong, I just get so wound up. And also it comes with software as well, websites that I really don't understand. I haven't got the time or the energy to understand what they're all about. In fact, the whole Twitter thing is starting to get right on my nose. Every blooming time you turn the telly on, oh, you can follow me on Twitter and all this old business. What a load of old palami. It really is. I also would like to say, just before I go, thank you very much to a friend of mine, Richard Hammond, who runs Global City Radio. Have I got that right? Global City Radio. So either Global Radio or Global City Radio. 1 moment, please. That's it. Global City Radio, globalradio.1, globalradio1.com if you want to have a look. Once again, globalradio1.com. Richard, who runs it, for some reason I thought he was American. And I thought he was in America, but he's not. He's here in the UK. And he came, the reason I'm here today, I've got to be honest, the reason I'm here today is because he came to Belushi's last Wednesday, where I was doing my show, and it's a big black guy as he comes across to me. Hi, Chris. And I looked at him, I thought, I know you. And very quickly it dropped, oh my God, it's Richard. So, hi, Richard, pleased to meet you. And he's been sort of, you know, we've known each other on the internet for quite a number of years now, probably 4 or 5 years now, maybe longer than that. And he used to play out the audio version of this show. And he was telling me, how he misses the shows, and I really should do them again. And that really is the main reason I think that I'm here, that someone has, you know, actually came and sought me out to say something like that. And thank you, Richard. that's why I'm here again. But I don't know about regularity yet. I can't tell you when the next one's going to be. Thanks very, very much for watching and listening to the show. It's quite a pleasure to be here again, actually. My email address, once again, is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you soon. Bye.